So, most of you who know the channel probably already know that I am a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. However, what you may not know is I'm also a really big fan of Funko Pops. In fact, I tend to collect a lot. No, I haven't been outside at all in the past few years. Why do you ask?
Obviously, the sheer magnitude of stuff here is honestly incredible. This is probably, if I had to sadly guess, upwards of $500-ish. And that's just really sad to me. Anyway, this is not even all we're going to talk about today. There's even more beyond this that I not only do not have, but am going to cover today. But before I get into that, though, if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Sonic Boy. I do Sonic news, reviews, and sometimes video essays. If you could, please like and subscribe, because we're trying to 4,000 subscribers whenever we do that, and the likes really help me on the algorithm. Also, I live stream every Saturday at 11 a.m. PST and 2 p.m. EST. Please come check it out. We always have so much fun. Now, if you don't know what a Funko Pop is, I would genuinely assume that you've been living under a rock these past couple of years, because Funko Pops are one of the most collected items probably ever, if I had to guess. Given the fact that the Funko Pop license has extended to many different series and franchises, it would be a really good guess to assume that most, if not every fan of something has a Funko Pop. Seriously, take your favorite franchise, whether it be like Marvel, Star Wars, even FNAF or something like that. You will most likely find a Funko Pop for your favorite thing. Unless, of course, it's Barack Obama, because I couldn't find any Funko Pops of him, but funnily enough, Funko actually did make a bobblehead of him, which, I would assume this is what they did before Funko Pops, because this was, like, in the 2000s. But funnily enough, of the same bobblehead brand, they also have Sonic ones of that, too. Hey everyone, here, editing Sonic Boy. Before we start this video, I do want to mention the fact that I did forget a lot of the products that were supposed to be listed in this list, because, well, general incompetence, of course, but also the fact that none of them were really, like, actual Funko Pops, so it must have just slipped my mind. The first product that I have here is the Sonic Funko Pop mask. I mean, this thing is pretty self-explanatory. It's actually a really good fit. In fact, I think I've worn it on stream or on video a couple times. It's actually really cool. I think I wore this thing to the Mario movie when that came out, so yeah, you can also go check out that short right here. But, yeah. I mean, not really much to say about this one. Also, there are pins of Super Sonic, Normal Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, all of which have their own Funko Pop styles. Again, these are self-explanatory. They're literally just pins that are, like, this-ish big, like the size of a normal Funko Pop. You just place them on something. It's, again, they feel really cool. They're really shiny. I have seen a few in person. I just don't have any with me. The next one I forgot to mention is the Sonic cereal. Now, I've never had this, nor have I seen it anywhere, so obviously I would probably forget about this one, but apparently it's also, like, a really bad product, too, so maybe don't go out and buy it if you see it on a shelf. It's probably, like, 6 years old at this point, because it came out with the original Wave 1, so, yeah, I would not recommend picking this one up at all. There's also, like, a backpack sort of thing released by Funko. This thing is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, it's only about this big at most, I believe, so it's not really the biggest product ever, but I still think it would be pretty cool to have as, like, a little collector's item. Another thing to mention, even though this isn't really a Funko Pop product, the Sonic the Hedgehog soda. I'm not sure if there's other ones with, like, Tails or Knuckles or something like that, but this is still really cool as, like, a little collector's item once again. Alright, tell me if I missed any more in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye. So technically, you could say this is where the Funko Pop got its start, but I don't really want to say that because this technically isn't a Funko Pop, this is just a normal bobblehead. But let's actually talk about the first Sonic Funko Pops here. The first one we have here is 06 Sonic, and that's the 06 is the little number that comes alongside all of them that you can see, like, right here, right there. Anyways, this one is really commonly known because it's just a straight-up mold. This is one of the first original Funko Pop molds that they ever had, and the eyes are white. Now, this one, on average, will cost you around $150 to $200 in the box pre-owned. I'm scared to look at any other prices that aren't those categories, but still, this one actually looks really nice. I feel like this would be a cool little collector's item to have back in the day, especially when we didn't think we would get any more Sonic Funko Pops, so this is a cool thing to have. As well as 07 Tails, which was the next one to release right alongside it. This one with the normal Funko Pop black eyes, obviously getting rid of the whites of his eyes, unlike future Funko Pops that we will see. But still, that one actually looks really good too. I wish the tails were a little more prominent, but otherwise I feel like that one's still really cool. Then we have 08 Knuckles. Again, whites of his eyes removed, but I feel like the mold is really cool. I like how his boxing gloves. Look, everything here just looks awesome. Now we have 283 Sonic with the ring. This one I don't actually have, but it's still really cool. This is probably one of the best Sonic Funko Pops because it's literally so iconic. It's literally the one where he's doing the pose with the ring in his hand. It just looks so cool. I just wish that this one was more readily available all the time because it's actually a really cool thing. I'm sure you could probably find it on eBay or Amazon for actually a decent price. I know a lot of them brand new still go for like $20-ish, so this one won't cost you any much at all. So if you want to buy this thing, I would definitely recommend it. There was also a specific version of it featured at Toys R Us that glows in the dark. Looking at the thing here, it doesn't look too cool from the effect, but that might just be the video. That might just be the photo editing that they did on it, and not how it actually looks. Anyway, the next one was the GameStop exclusive, and this is where we get to the ones that I actually have. Here, I have the metallic Sonic with the ring. Now, if you're wondering, this one actually does come with a shirt and a box. No clue where the box is, by the way. I only have this and the shirt. And if you remember, the shirt that I used to wear in my first year of doing the Sonic Boy channel, it was that shirt. I will pull up a picture of it right now, and I will actually go get it real quick. Hold on. But here's the shirt. I got a 2X because obviously now it still fits me all these years later. But still, that's still a really cool piece of history to have, especially with the fact that these were very limited. Let's see what the prices were on eBay for this one. I'm not seeing anything specifically, but I'm looking at a new listing for the 2018 variation of it. It's $50, so not too bad, but also $30. There's actually one person watching the $30 one right now, so act fast if you can get it. Next one we get to talk about here is number 284, Sonic with an Emerald, and I also have this one as well. It's just the standard version. I don't know if they made any other variations of it. It's not listing it here on the website. But the funny thing about this one and the other one as well is both of their boxes are very damaged, which is why you don't see them in the background, because they would be front and center, I can guarantee you. The funny thing about this one, though, is, yeah, in one way or another, I accidentally broke his leg, so I just kind of have to deal with that. I place him very carefully when I do place him on sets and stuff like that, but otherwise, it actually stays on really well, because the original plan was for it to stay up there, but I always bump stuff off. But otherwise, this one's really cool. It was the first one with an emerald. In fact, I would put this at second place for probably the best Sonic Funko Pop from that whole wave of them coming out. Next one is 285 Shadow. Now, this is probably the one you think of when you hear of Shadow Funko Pop, is going to be the one with that one pose with him going like that. But yeah, this one looks really cool. Obviously, it is probably one of the Shadow Funko Pops that you can get if you were a Sonic fan. If you want to buy it on eBay, it's, again, within that like a just released price range of like $13 to $20. It's not too bad. In fact, I think the Emerald one was also that price as well. Yes, it is, depending on which version you get, but some can be brand new at $15, some can be in mint condition, $180. It really just depends on who you get it from. This next one is probably the rarest Sonic Funko Pop ever. It is the 285 Super Shadow, specifically released for E3 2018. Now, if you want to buy this one, it looks really cool, by the way. I love this one. The literal first listing of it is $1,100. This is ridiculous. 27 watchers on that one, by the way. 15 watchers on one that's $1,018. Man, 20 watchers on one that's $600. That's probably one of the best prices you can get for it. Customs actually go for a lot too, 125. But yeah, this thing is super rare. If you can get your hands on it for a reasonable price, get it immediately. Next one we have here is 286 Dr. Eggman. Now this one looks really cool too. I wish they made more Eggman ones so we could just I could have more on the set. But still, this one will cost you around anywhere from 25 to 50-ish if you're looking for like a pre-owned or a brand new. Sometimes, though, brand new will cost you up to like $100. However, that will be the case on most of these Funko Pops, so just probably ignore that. But otherwise, brand new, I'm looking at a price of $56. So yeah, it really isn't that bad. Next one we have here is 287 Supersonic. This is the first ever Supersonic Funko Pop, and this thing looks immaculate. Obviously, it still has the ring accessory like the other Sonic one did, but I feel like this one's brought up even more with the fact that it's Supersonic. Obviously, since this one was released with the original wave, it will cost you about the same price as all the other ones do on eBay or Amazon, wherever you choose to get it from. But I feel like this one's also really worth it because it's literally the first Supersonic Funko Pop. I would definitely recommend getting it, and I will definitely get my hands on one if I can. Now, we have 288 here, Shadow with a Chow. This one is actually kind of rare as well. You can't find it nowadays because it was a Hot Topic exclusive, but this thing, I mean, I don't know. I never really liked the ones where they added the Chow in with them, like the Soap Shoe figure as well as the newer... I liked Cream because cheese, obviously, but still. This one, I would say it's worth it if you want to get it. Anyway, it will cost you anywhere from like 50 to like hundreds of dollars. So maybe just do like a rain check on some of the prices, but still, I think this would be a cool one to have regardless. And then we skip just about 400 Funko Pops all the way up to 632 Classic Sonic Running. Now, I do in fact have this one. It is, it's somewhere. Hold on. The wall is being destroyed. Anyway, 632 here, Classic Sonic Running. This one, it's actually damaged for me. That's why I kept it in the box like that. It looks kind of weird right now. It still fumbles around a lot. But otherwise, I feel like this would be a really good price. You could find it at the general, like, $14 to $30 range because it's one of the newer ones. I believe this was released for the 30th. Yeah, it's got the 30th anniversary logo right on the box. So obviously it's not going to be that hard to find. In fact, I could consider going to like resale retailers such as like Five Below or something like that because they will probably have something like this, or Entertain Mart if you have one of those near you, because I didn't get this from there. I believe I got this from Amazon. But otherwise, I still feel like this would be a really cool thing to pick up, especially because of the figure 8 that the shoes are doing. Also a flocked variation of that, so if you want to get that one too, that's alright. This one isn't flocked, I believe, but yeah, it's not flocked. But I'm sure the flocked one might be a little more expensive on eBay and stuff like that. Next, we have 633 Silver the Hedgehog. Now, I would take this guy out of the box again, but his foot's broken, if you can see that. It's just kind of sliding around in the box. That's why I haven't had the last two on my set, because they're broken. And my super glue sucks. So obviously I don't want to put like a really bad thing on the set. So, but I think this one's still really cool. I think it was the first silver Funko Pop, or maybe the second one. I can't quite remember, but still. Anyway, there's also a variation of this one that glows in the dark that's a Hot Topic exclusive. However, it's actually been re-released recently, so you could probably still find it in a bunch of different Hot Topic stores. I'm not sure how recently again, but you can probably find this for a decent price as well because it's one of the more recent ones. This is another one that I don't have, the 641 Tails Flocked Target Con 2021 exclusive. I'm sure you could probably find this on eBay for a decent price because it can't be that, yeah, like 20, 21, 24. It's not that bad if you want to buy it brand new because it's obviously still a retail product, unlike something like the Super Shadow Funko Pop. But otherwise, this one actually looks pretty cool, besides the fact that it's flocked. Can't stand flocked Funko Pops, by the way. I know this Supersonic one right here is a flocked, but I just like it because of the Chaos Emeralds. But regardless, I still think this would be a cool one to have, especially if you're a really big Sonic Funko Pop collector. Next one is, and then we jump another 200 to 854 Knuckles flocked for Target Con 2022. They really like doing their Target Con ones. This one actually looks really cool. I would actually consider getting this. In fact, I really wanted to get it because it's the first Knuckles Funko Pop. But now it's gone somewhere, left to eBay land because, well, it's a Knuckles Funko Pop. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Knuckles merch on eBay. But still, again, reasonable prices, like the $20 to $15 to $20, $30 range. So yeah, this one's pretty good for collectors as well. The next one we have to talk about here is the 862 Werehog figure. Now, I don't have a child, but that child would not get as much love as this would. This is probably one of the best Sonic Funko Pops I've ever seen, and it's some of the only merch of the Werehog. So obviously you gotta pick it up if you're a big Sonic fan. I believe it's been re-released once or twice. It's a Hot Topic exclusive, released back in 2021, I believe. Maybe it doesn't have a 30th anniversary logo on it though. But still, I feel like this one's really cool. If you're a Sonic collector, please try to find this one. I will look at the price real quick. Oh, $20, you got the mold for $10, $30, $50, $40. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. I feel like this would be a really good purchase if you want Werehog merchandise. Next one we have here is the 877 Supersonic First Appearance Glow-in-the-Dark 2022 San Diego Comic-Con Funko Pop. Now, this one was actually released in a couple of spots. I've actually seen this one at my local Entertain Mart. But this one obviously glows in the dark. I think you guys know how I feel about that one. I've made a couple community posts about the these two shadows right here that glow in the dark. I don't think they're the best glow in the dark products ever, but I still think that it would be really cool to have this, especially because it's one of the first Supersonic Funko Pops that's like stands up on a stand, so he actually floats, as well as the fact that it's a classic Supersonic Funko Pop. That's also really cool. So yeah, I would consider getting this, especially because the prices aren't all that bad. Next one we have here is the 915 Amy Rose. Now, this one, really cool, except for the fact, do you see that render on the box? That thing looks absolutely ridiculous, especially considering how well rendered everything else is, like the Metal Sonic one. I don't know what happened there, but that looks bad. It looks like it has no lighting on it whatsoever. It was just in Blender or something like that, whatever they used to put the models on the boxes. Anyway, that looks bad, but everything else looks amazing. I would really consider actually picking this one up, especially if you're an Amy fan, because it's probably some of the only Amy Funko Pops we're ever gonna get. Anyway, I already showed it off, but the next one was the Metal Sonic Funko Pop. Now, this thing is awesome. This is probably one of my favorite Funko Pops, definitely top 5, because just how cool he looked. Do you see that? This thing's awesome. Now, obviously, these last two you can get for really good prices, because again, they're some of the newer ones. I believe these ones were released back in 2023. Somewhere around there. Yeah, it was 2023 when those ones were released, because I went on a big haul trying to find them for my birthday. Anyway, those ones are really cool. Go pick them up if you can. I'm sure you can find them for reasonable prices. In fact, even at some stores still, because they are just awesome Funko Pops. Next one we have here is number 918, Ring Scatter Sonic, the PX Previews exclusive. Now, this one, you can definitely still find it. I see this one at stores still. At boxed lunch, I've seen this, so this is definitely something you could still get for a reasonable price. It also has the other two characters on the back there, so you know this is a new wave. But yeah, this thing looks really cool. Again, this is one of the top 5 Funko Pops, because just look at it, man. That thing looks awesome with the rings coming out, the green hill back in the background. The box, it looks incredible. Everything else, it's just awesome. I would definitely recommend picking this one up, especially if you're a classic Sonic fan, because we don't get a lot of classic Sonic Funko Pops, especially this one. It looks really nice. The next one we have here is the 923 AAA anime exclusive Supersonic one here. Now, obviously, he's just in a base pose, but this is still one of the better Supersonic Funko Pops, because it just looks, we barely, if ever, get Supersonic Funko Pops. Well, I see 2 of them immediately, but still, these are still really cool to pick up when they are available. Plus, there's also another one that I don't have, which is a Supersonic Chase variant. I think Chase is like some sort of online retailer or something like that, but there's also a version of him where he's standing, as well as it being a AAA anime exclusive, by the way. And I think I have seen that one, although it was locked behind a thing. So otherwise, I feel like that would also be a really cool thing to pick up as well. Let's talk about the 2-packs real quick. Obviously, I have a few of those. So let's start with the Shadow and Amy 2-pack. This one was a Target Con 2024 exclusive. They are both flocked figures, both of which might need a stand to stay up correctly, but otherwise these ones are really cool. I would definitely recommend picking those up. This one, I've come to find out, is actually really rare. Anyway, this is the Super Tails and Super Silver GameStop exclusive, by the way, special edition. I don't know how many of you guys see that one. I've come to find out that these ones are actually really rare. These were released for the Go Sega 60th anniversary. I don't know exactly when that was, but still, I feel like this is a really cool thing to have, especially because apparently it's really rare. So that's awesome. Knuckles and Rouge. I believe this was also a GameStop exclusive, so I'm sure you could probably find this somewhere online. These are all really probably reasonably priced online, except for the Super Tails and Super Silver one. Anyway, the glow-in-the-dark Super Shadow and Super Shadow ones that were also a GameStop exclusive. These ones are really cool. Otherwise, yeah, not a lot to say about them. Really cool that I finally have a Super Shadow one. That's really cool that I get to have that. Anyway, let's talk about also these two real quick. The big Funko Pop, quite literally, as a matter of fact. This one's really cool. This was released with the brand new ones recently, and I really love this thing. This is probably some of my only big merch that I will ever own. So yeah, this is really cool to have. As well as the Pop Rides, which were released with like the classic Sonic Ring Scatter, as well as the Metal Sonic and Amy. This one is Dr. Eggman in the Egg Hammer. I would assume that's what this one's called. But otherwise, yeah, this one actually looks really nice too. You know, a smart thing I should have done while recording the video is probably clear out the Funko Pops that I've already talked about. So let's just do that real quick. Oh wait, I do have the Target 2022 flocked Knuckles. I did not know that. Where did I get this one? Anyway, with the ones that I have, we are down to these few. Let's talk about the less new ones. So this Shadow one with the emerald, it actually comes with a shirt, so let me go get that one real quick. Cool. Because it kind of looks like the Yuikawa art. There's also a Sonic one that comes with like a small Funko Pop and a shirt. I'll show it on screen right now. But otherwise, yeah, this thing actually looks really nice. Shadow the Hedgehog, it looks really cool. The box for that specifically looks like this if you want to find it somewhere. So yeah, it looks like that. Let's talk about the Soap Shoe Sonic and Cream ones. These ones came with chat. Okay, hold on. These ones come with little Chow. So obviously Soap Shoe Sonic and a little Hero Chow. Isn't that kind of cool? I don't like it because it's it comes. I call them like Funko Pets because like Cream with Cheese, Shadow with Dark Chow, Sonic with Hero Chow. So that's why I like to call them. I think they kind of look weird, especially the height difference there. I guess it's technically game accurate, but still, I think you should just get this one specifically for the Soap Shoes because we never get any Soap Shoe Sonic merch, so that's really cool to have. As well as the Cream Funko Pop, obviously includes cheese, so that one looks really cool. I don't have the Shadow one, but that one also comes with the Dark Chow. I think that one looks really cool too. I'll show it on screen right now as I'm putting these ones back. But yeah, I need to put this back in the box. Let's talk about the new stuff real quick. We got Treasure Hunter Knuckles. This is from the Sonic Dash and Forces mobile games. This one looks really nice. Probably, again, one of my top 5 Sonic Funko Pops because this one looks immaculate. I love the paint job. I love the outfit. I love everything about this one. Might be one of my favorites. Another one of my favorite ones is the Omega Funko Plus. Funko Plus, I don't know what that means because it's still 1056 and this one's 1055. So yeah. But I think this one looks really cool. It's obviously some of the only Omega merch you're gonna get, so yeah. Also, this flocked version of the Supersonic only at Target comes with him going around a bunch of emeralds. This one was leaked about 2 years back, if you can believe it. I've been waiting for that one for years now, and I can't believe I can finally have it in my hands and say, yes, I have that Supersonic with the Chaos Emeralds that was leaked 2 years ago. Let's talk about other ones that I don't have real quick. There was the Tails flying one that I believe was some sort of exclusive. I can't quite remember, but there's 2 variations of him. One normal, which you can probably find on eBay or Amazon for really cheap, like a normal Funko Pop, and a flocked variation. There was also a Mecha Knuckles one, I believe, for San Diego Comic-Con 2024, I believe. This one you can actually find online for a decent price, just around $30. I would definitely recommend picking that one up. That one's really cool. Obviously, the Shadow with the Dark Chow, I don't have that one. Oh yes, the retro variations of a classic Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. All of those can be found at Target somewhere. I don't know if you can find those for a reasonable price, but they are also really recent as well. I believe 2024 sometime. There's also the character Funko Pop icons for Sonic when he's in the Sonic 2 character box. That looks really nice. I wish I had that one to display because it comes in like a sort of a pseudo glass case. That one looks really cool. I wish I could have that one because, man, it looks so cool. I remember seeing it in a store once. I was like, can I get this? Can I get this? And my parents said no. It's really sad because I believe it's actually really expensive now. Now let's talk about some upcoming Sonic Funko Pops that we have to look forward to. Coming this fall, another plus Funko Pop is Sonic Pearlescent. I don't know what that means. I'll put up another Pearlescent Funko Pop on the screen right now if there are any to show you guys what that could look like. But I feel like that could be pretty cool, especially if it's a plus Funko Pop, because the other plus Funko Pops that were the Supersonic with Chaos Emeralds and Omega look really good. So I'm really excited for that one. Next, coming this fall as well, Shadow as Batman, Sonic as the Flash, Tails as Cyborg, Knuckles as Superman, Amy Rose as Wonder Woman, and Silver as Green Lantern, part of the DC X Sonic collaboration, are all coming this fall. So get ready for those ones, obviously. Now, I have yet to confirm the credibility of this because I have yet to find the original post, but apparently there is also a Blaze Funko Pop, an SPO Funko Pop, a Jet Funko Pop, and a Neo Metal Sonic Funko Pop coming sometime whenever. Again, this was posted about 5 months ago, so I have no way of like confirming the validity of it. But yeah, it's probably coming sometime soon. Just don't get your hopes up that much. Oh yes, there's also this cool little classic Sonic Funko Pop that's in a little arcade machine that's also coming as well. This one actually looks really cool. I don't remember exactly when it's coming. I believe it's sometime within the next couple of months. It doesn't exactly say, but still, I feel like that one could be really cool. Okay, so recording update, I actually did find the original post with the Blaze Espio Jet Neo Mel Sonic one, supposedly coming summer 2025. I did see a listing on, I looked up Blaze the Cat Funko Pop. There is a listing, but it lists as a 404, 403 right now. So, take of that what you will. But, I feel like these are still definitely coming sometime within the next couple of months. If summer, maybe, who knows, but still, I feel like that could be a really cool thing to expect. Again, don't get your hopes up all that much, because these could still very much so be canceled. But this guy who did leak the Blaze Espio Jet Neo Mel Sonic ones, he's actually a very credible leaker. Obviously, nothing's official right now, but still, otherwise, I would maybe put a little bit of trust into this, especially that Neo Mel Sonic Pop, dude. I really need one of those. But yeah, that's a look back and into the future of all of the official Sonic the Hedgehog Funko Pops. I very much should have said official, because if I look at all the fan-made ones, we would be here for hours. Thank you all so much. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to talk about today. This was a long video to record. There's actually a lot that went into this one, including making the background, having to pick out every single Funko Pop, going over all of them, but otherwise this was still a really rewarding thing to finally get done after so many months of putting it off for a very long time. And now we have new ones to talk about anyway, so besides, this will probably be out of date within a few months anyway, so what are you gonna do, right? But otherwise, make sure to put your thoughts about all this down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.